Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Infinite Crypto Cruisers. Hey there, folks. My name is Brad Varnell, and this is the Infinite Crypto YouTube channel. And I am so excited to present you guys with another token teaser. And one of the coolest things about this token, folks, is that if you would have bought it any time in the last handful of months, you wouldn't have lost one penny. You would not have lost any money had you bought this token at any point in time in the history of this project. I know you might think that's impossible, but we're going to get into the details and show you why that is. This is a unique project, something that we've never covered, a project like this on the channel. I'm super excited to introduce Cole. And Cole, will you do me a favor? I'm not exactly sure if you're one of the founders, if you're the CEO, or exactly what role you play in the company, but welcome to the channel, man. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to meet. Been looking forward to this for weeks now, and being able to interact with your community. But yeah, I'm Cole. I'm one of the co-founders of Elixir. We've worked on this project for almost 3 years now, and so it's been quite the journey. But there's only two of us on the business side, so I pretty much do a little bit of everything. It's not a super defined role, but yeah, it's a pleasure to meet.
Thank you. I'm not sure exactly what your mic situation is, but you're a little on the quiet side. I don't know if you can maybe get a little closer to your mic or turn the volume up.
Yeah, give me 1 second. That should
Sure.
be much at all.
Is Pharmacy Cat joining us?
I think it's just going to be me, but he's quite funny. If we wanted to pull him in.
Okay.
And let's see, I just turned my mic up. So let
Beautiful.
me know if that's better.
Yeah, that's much better. So
Perfect.
Awesome. Well, I'm learning about this project almost as in the same time as my community is here. As I mentioned, folks, that you couldn't have lost any money in this project because DEUSD is basically a stable coin, but it's a decentralized finance protocol. And you probably didn't see it, Cole, because you came in a little bit late. But even during my countdown timer on this channel, I talk about how I love creating passive income. And I'm a firm believer in cash flow. Like, capital gains are amazing. And I know that we're going to hit that, and we're going to get that in the cryptocurrency markets too. But, cash flow is king. If you've got $100,000 a year income or nut to cover, even if you build up to $1 million or $2 million in crypto, it could be potentially hard to walk away from your job. You would have to turn that $1 million in crypto into a passive income, or you would slowly go broke. And so if somebody offered me, hey, would you rather have $1 million, or would you rather have a stream of cash flow coming in at $100 a year for the rest of your life, I would certainly prefer the cash flow in most circumstances. So we didn't have an opportunity to chat. I'm going to go ahead and change our view over here to your guys' website. Actually, before we do that, Cole, why don't you give us a little bit of a background on you and Pharmacy Cat, a little bit about how long you guys have been in the cryptocurrency markets and how you got involved in this crazy, world of blockchain technology, and, why Elixir exists. Like, what problem did you see in the marketplace, and how does Elixir fix that problem?
Yeah, so I've been personally in the crypto market since late 2016. I started off writing like news articles in my senior year of high school, which led to me writing the first DeFi focused newsletter for Forbes in late 2019. This is Uniswap V1 days, pre Uniswap airdrop. It was just Maker and Compound at the time. DeFi was pretty barren, and so about 3-4 months later, COVID hit. That whole sector just exploded, obviously, and that was when we saw the $1 trillion APY Ponzi's, and it was probably the most fun I've had in crypto. during that time. I worked for a venture fund for a while, and was also like continuing to do the weekly like Forbes crypto newsletter covering just DeFi, which was pretty exciting because kind of got to help start like Forbes crypto and shape that in the early days. Invested in 50 plus projects in total, even like some funds like the now defunct 3 Arrows I had invested in, and so was like very close to like a lot of the drama, I guess, and stuff that happened subsequently. And so it was a pretty fun time, just in terms of stimulation and things going on. Also built up my like Twitter presence through that time, which was fun. I'm Cole0x on Twitter, same name as here. But yeah, Elixir about 3 years ago, the idea kind of came about, like this was before like intent networks existed and such, like this concept of having like infinite scalability, which is really only possible on an off-chain level. We were thinking there's no reason why these consensus systems that exist on-chain couldn't exist off-chain as well, but have like the computational scalability of an off-chain environment with like fraud proofs being posted on-chain, just for like verifiability and trustlessness, but the actual computation happening at a like network level between servers offline. And so the reason we kind of like realized that this was something that was needed was we were talking with like a team that was trying to build like market making bots for these like decentralized exchanges, and it just like the data flow was just like way too much for it to work feasibly, like fully on chain. And so we're like, damn, like there's this open gap here where users could essentially come and like supply liquidity directly to these exchange order book pairs, and like we could handle all the computation off chain. People could run validators to validate the data, come to consensus, right, and then post fraud proofs on chain retroactively. And so that was kind of the first use case and the first idea that we came to market with. We built out this network, which took a year plus, and like even now, just recently, like entered a early stage of mainnet, and then we ended up integrating into like 6 different exchanges to enable users to deposit USDC for market making on these pairs. That's kind of what then led us to like the ultimate product market fit that we found, which was realizing that like a lot of these users did not want to just like use like USDC. Like people wanted yield, people wanted like you said, like passive income in some ways. But I guess there's a lot of different approaches you can take towards that. Where I kind of think of like the stablecoin ecosystem as like this kind of triage of like layers. You have like this base layer, like USDC, USDT, like asset-backed, like dollars in a bank account, like redeemable for a wire transfer. That's kind of like the core base of it. But the upside there is like limited to just like whatever the risk-free rate is with treasuries. I think like a lot of like retail users, it's maybe not like impactful enough to like be like an exciting opportunity. And so we thought like how could we kind of, and this is like the early days of Athena too, kind of like maybe take that approach, but blend it with something that like a little that I guess like in our minds was a little bit safer and had better longevity, and kind of blend like this like 4.5% risk-free rate with also the upside of like the basis trade. And so that's what led to the creation of deUSD, backed by a combination of treasury assets through MakerDAO and ETH basis trade, which is run by that computational network that we mentioned. So like all the order flow and each order is like verifiable on chain. And so that's kind of where we're at now. Last thing I'll mention, and then I'll pause on the deUSD side, is like where we kind of see a lot of long-term like blue ocean potential is on the RWA side. So we recently partnered with Securitize, who's the fund issuer for BlackRock. They're the ones that issue like BUIDL tokens. If people haven't heard of BUIDL, it's BlackRock's fractionalized treasury shares. So it's essentially you're buying just a bucket of like U.S. treasuries, but then they issue you this like this very uncomposable on-chain token. So it sits in your wallet. It doesn't reflect value in your wallet. You can't move it. It's whitelisted transfers only. There's nothing you can really do with it. But we, through our partnership with BlackRock and Securitize, allow holders of those tokens to mint deUSD with it and have isolated exposure to just the BUIDL that they use, or as well as a couple other RWAs routing, but maintain isolated exposure to just the minting asset. And so they get the same token that the people who buy with the public decentralized backing have, but they kind of have this isolated risk parameter, maybe with like some lower upside though. So yeah, that's kind of where we see like a lot of like long-term growth potential is adding support for more RWAs, like working with more of these fund issuers. But all of that relies on having like a robust user-driven ecosystem with strong yields and leverage looping opportunities and liquidity as well. So I'll pause there, but yeah, that's high level on my background, Elixir, and kind of where we've gotten to now, where we're at with deUSD and being our main product.
Awesome. I'm definitely looking forward. Normally, I prefer to get a few minutes in off camera, so I have a little bit more of an idea of what is really the most important to you to highlight to my community, and so that I can kind of guide the conversation. But since we weren't able to do that, I'll just ask you, like, so what is it about, the Elixir protocol and deUSD that you're the most excited about? And what did you really, what key points or what takeaways did you want my community, to be able to hear from you, during this interview?
Yeah, I think the main, like from a user perspective, like I see deUSD kind of having this unique positioning as a almost ecosystem, like an ecosystem of yield opportunities beyond just like the native yield that you get from staking it. We've like worked pretty hard to have integrations with different protocols like Spectra and Pendle coming up soon for like PTYT markets, where users can like tokenize future yield and then borrow against that. We're working with Gauntlet and MEV Capital, who run like the $500 million stablecoin vault on Morpho, which allows for leverage looping pretty much like up to like 10x on staked deUSD. And so obviously there's like a bunch of different like game theory and economics to all of those things, and some things maybe make more sense than others. But we wanted to create like a strong ecosystem of like very different from like the lowest risk possible to kind of more degen, but like super high upside yield. And so that's what we're trying to kind of build out right now. We're expanding to like a bunch of different other chains. We're trying to have at least like a framework for a strong, robust ecosystem on each and every chain. And so yields range, like I know like at the prime, at the highest rate for like PT looping, you could like basically get like, it was like 110% APR. Obviously like there's like liquidation risk there with like any kind of, if deUSD's price deviates at all. But like there's like a lot of like, there's a whole spectrum for like, I guess how you can interact with deUSD. And we want to like at least serve people both on like the lowest end of that spectrum and the highest end. I think you're on mute, by the way. I think you might be on mute.
Yeah, I was trying to be nice and quiet, and then so thank you for catching that. I literally, no kidding you, I'm such a professional here. Been YouTuber for 4 years, and about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, I literally got so wrapped up in what I was saying on one of my live streams. It was just me. And I literally went for 20 minutes muted. The first 20 minutes of my live stream. When I went live, I didn't unmute my mic, and I was just like focused and talking for 20 minutes before I realized my wife's calling me, and like I don't notice my phone ringing. Anyways, it was pretty embarrassing, and I was like, guys, see, if I can be successful in crypto, you can definitely be successful in crypto. So at least it was a good moment to show my humbleness or whatever, but I appreciate that. So So that kind of leads into my next question. So for any of my community members or even myself, I kind of wondered, like, what in the world am I getting myself into? Why are we promoting, or why are we talking about a stable coin? And folks, it goes back to, what Cole was just talking about, producing yield, producing, like a passive income. So if you could maybe go a little bit more into the process. So like if somebody's watching this video right now, and by the end of it, they're excited, but they want to know what are the next steps. Obviously step number one would be, it would, seem logical to me, like they got to go buy some, DEUSD. That would be step one. But then once they own this DEUSD, where do they go from there?
Yeah, that's a good question. So essentially, like once you have DUSD, there's a pretty wide array of things you can do with it. In the coming week, we're going to be accepted as trade collateral for perps on a couple major exchanges. So you could hold staked USD, earn like the 7 to 15% APR yield that it typically generates, while also then using as collateral to take the trades you would normally take with like USDC or USDT as collateral. So you end up having the same effect, right, where you have a stable coin as like your collateral asset, but instead of earning 0%, now you're earning 7 to 15% APR. Users can also, like I said earlier, like take a more like degen approach if they want to really maximize yield, and use integrations with either like Abracadabra, which is probably the most like UI friendly. If you're like new to DeFi, it's pretty much like you just deposit and like have a leverage slider, and it tells you like a liquidation price. I would note that like all of these integrations that involve like leverage, like number one, like liquidations like aren't the same. When I say that, it's not the same as like leverage, like perp trading liquidations, where like they liquidate you when you lose like your entire collateral balance. Like these liquidations are basically like when the price gets to a point where you are like just barely able to pay off the loan that you took from a lender on the other side, it liquidates you to pay off the loan. So it doesn't like liquidate your whole balance, but users should still like learn about it and study up on like the risks and such before doing any of this. But Abracadabra is probably one of the like most user friendly for taking on leverage. I would note too that leverage also gains users levered exposure to our potions. Elixir potions are basically like our markers of value contribution to the Elixir network. So they're completely separate from the native yield that's paid out. They are we're dealing pretty imminently. I think that's we've been somewhat open about that recently, and so I think people can expect to see more kind of decentralized decision making when it comes to kind of key protocol decisions in the near future, and potions will play into that. But yeah, so I think some people are trying to maybe like speculate on that game, and all of these integrations, or even just holding DUSD or staking DUSD, earn users potions as well, which on our website can be tracked on the apothecary page. So users can like set up an account there, view how many potions they have, where they're coming from in terms of like where their DUSD is parked, what they're earning on it. So that adds kind of a fun, like I think engaging element to it. And pretty soon, like I think people are going to be like pretty excited with some of the things we have coming in the next like week or two. So I can't say too much more on that side, but I will say like I think that's probably from a retail user's perspective. If you're looking for passive yield and like you don't care, like great, that's fine. But like even so, you still earn these potions, whatever they may be worth or not worth in the future.
Okay. So how long has Elixir actually, been in business? When did you guys launch?
Yeah, so we started development in 2022, about January, February. we raised our seed round, we closed our seed round, I think in May of that year, which was right around the time that Terra Luna collapsed. I think we closed it a week later, which was obviously not a fun experience trying to chase capital right after 40-50 billion dollars is wiped out of the market. Since then, we've done 3 more fundraising rounds, including a seed extension, a Series A, and then most recently our Series B. So we're backed by some names that might be familiar to users like Arthur Hayes and his fund Maelstrom, both as an angel, which was our first investors, and then his fund also participated in the Series B. Some other names include Hack VC, Angelus Ventures, which is Naval's fund, and a bunch of others as well. So we've been, building out that network component that I talked about, this consensus network run by a set of validators that will eventually be staking the ELX token. Building that out was the meat of the work here, and kind of took up the first 2 years of building. And then in the past 6 or 7 months, deUSD has been our primary focus, and will probably continue to be for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, you mentioned the ELX token. That hasn't technically launched yet.
No, so our TGE, our token launch is coming up in the next couple of weeks. It's been a long time coming, so people have been anticipating. There's gonna be a lot more information about it in the coming days.
Okay. Now, technically, is that token's going to have volatility? That token's going to go up and down and back and forth, and have the potential to, maybe, have some amazing multiples to it?
Yeah, I mean so that'll be that will be a volatile, that'll be fully separate from DEUSD. DUSD it's going to remain what it is now. It's always going to be a native yield bearing stable asset. The ELX token will be a freely traded asset on exchanges. It will be the governance token of the Elixir protocol, but also it provides a crypto economic security guarantee as well. Users who hold it basically can stake it to validators and earn fixed emissions from those validators, which are the ones that are coming to consensus once a second, confirming order flow and such. And so validators will have minimum thresholds that they need to have in terms of how many tokens they have staked. If they try to pass malicious proposals through, there will be slashing. So the ELX token will kind of be at the heart of the security of the network. Right now, the network's being run by our Genesis validator program, which includes names like OKX is running a validator, Securitized / BlackRock themselves are, a few other names like P2P, Anchorage, a bunch of these big institutional validator names. So we're hoping to. I mean, we're not hoping to, it will be turned over to the community in the very, very near term, at which point those names will still be running validators. So users can either try to spin up their own to compete with them, or they can just delegate their tokens, their governance tokens, to existing validators who run the infrastructure and deal with the servers and that sort of stuff, which users may not want to deal with. So ELX will be separate from DUSD, but there will likely be ongoing ELX rewards on top of the native yield for DUSD. So users will earn more than just the natively paid out yield in the future.
Right. Okay. So I want to address kind of a little bit of an elephant in the room with, Voyager and Celsius and some of these other DeFi protocols that, obviously weren't doing the right things with the funds and ended up going out of business and costing, people, billions of dollars. I'm sure there's other people on here that are kind of wondering, is there any particular reason that you guys have chosen to stay anonymous? Or are you not anonymous, but you just don't like being on camera? Is your team vetted and doxed, or is this an anonymous project?
Yeah, no, this is definitely not an anonymous project. It's I've always been like, I would say like semi-docs. Like if you look up Follow Elixir, like you will see like you'll see my LinkedIn, and our Elixir has like a LinkedIn page with all of our team members on it who are all docs. It's more of like I have like just like a large Twitter following, and so I just prefer to not be just not to have my face brought into things. Also, just for like our TVL has scaled like pretty massively, and even just for like safety reasons and stuff, like people will assume who's on multi-sigs and things like that. Like it's just a much easier life to stay relatively like publicly pseudo anonymous, kind of halfway. But like we're backed by like 26 or so like venture funds. Like these are all names that we were like flying out to meet in person. Like it's I guess like my public presentation is anonymous, but like in reality, like
okay.
Last thing I'd say too is like also like the whole point of having this like decentralized network is to like fix that issue with these like black box slush funds that existed in the past. Celsius, Nexo, like the Celsius story I have that I think is probably like fine to tell now because it's so long in the past. It's like this guy who I knew like decently well was like the solo head of DeFi for Celsius, and basically had like $1 billion plus on a single ledger that he controlled, that he just like slung around like it was like his personal money, like trading shit coins and farming these, and like that was what was like propping that APR that like users saw abstracted into just like a 6% yield on the front end. And on the back end, like there was fraud, and there was there was a huge dissonance between like what the users were presented with and the risks that they thought they were taking, and the actual risks that were like being taken behind the scenes. And the whole point of like building this decentralized network that we've built is so that like we're not the ones touching money, like we're not the ones actually executing executing the hedging on like the ETH basis trade that partially backs DUSD. Like all of that's done by this automated decentralized network with fraud proofs being posted onto Ethereum mainnet, with validators being run by like names that are familiar to all of us, including like OKX and Franklin Templeton and Securitize and BlackRock. And like the whole point of this is that like we're removing that human element and trying to make this as like automated and trustless as possible, so that people can actually verify what's happening with money at all times. We have a dashboard. It's like a work in progress. It's going to be like publicly marketed in the next couple days, but dashboard.elixir.xyz. So just like the website link, but dashboard before it, where you can see the entire backing at all times, as well as like all the addresses, where the funds are, every single order and fund movement. So like we're trying to build this to be as transparent and trustless as possible.
Okay, fair enough. I appreciate that. And that makes, that definitely makes a lot of sense. I just thought it was important to discuss for a quick minute, because a lot of people are hesitant to, put money into any project that, feels like it's anonymous, but especially when it comes to, decentralized finance, it can definitely be, a little bit worrisome for people. So thank you very much for, for clearing that up. And I was just curious, a question that came to my mind that I don't know the answer to is, how does the volatility, of the market affect the, like with here on, let me run back over here to this screen, but like we've got the DUSD, DEUSD here, where it shows earning 7.18% or up to, closer to 15% with the potion boost. Does the volatility of the market affect that much? Like if all of a sudden Bitcoin were to crash down to, 65, 70,000, would that be a dangerous situation? at all, or would it not really be a blip on the radar screen? And vice versa, if all of a sudden Bitcoin goes on a massive tear, like a lot of us believe is coming, and is all of a sudden 150 or 200,000, is that a good thing as far as the people that are using your protocol, or does it not really matter?
Yeah, so the underlying price of DEUSD, which like is or should always be $1, that's not impacted by market volatility, like as we've seen as of late, like even over the past couple of days. The yields are somewhat market correlated. So like the APR that you're receiving is where you would see some market correlation, but only to a certain level. So the reason I say that is like a piece of DUSD's backing is the basis trade, like ETH, like staked ETH, that's then hedged with a short position. So it equalizes itself out, but there's usually like a delta there. In really negative markets, like the funding rates can be negative, which drags down like our collateral's total APR. And in the market, like you described, like if Bitcoin gets to 200K, like funding rates are going to be like crazy high. And like, that's when the APR, I think the highest week we saw, like the amortized APR, if it were to stay like that for the year, would have been like 38% or something. And so that was one of the weeks where like ETH was like really taking off towards 4K before things like turned downwards. And so yields are somewhat market correlated. And then obviously like any kind of token rewards that we pay out in the future, once the ELX token is live in the coming weeks, those will be market correlated as well, of course, just because like our token, I assume is going to like probably have some have some correlation to the broader market, but the actual price of DEUSD is completely detached. The one other thing I'd add too is on the downside, the yields are kind of protected by the fact that like most of our backing is just basically UST bills. So they're worth $1 and they pay like a 4.75% APR that's just completely detached from the crypto markets, which is what we want. So that kind of 4.75% APRs, whatever the risk-free rate is at the time, is kind of like the lowest, I think, the lower bound of yield. But then the upper bound, like depending on funding rates for ETH perps, could be like more towards like the 30-40% APR.
Okay, and then so is that 30 or 40% possible through the stuff here on your website? I want to clarify, is that possible through your platform, or is that where they have to go over to Abracadabra in order to potentially get those higher yields?
No, the yields I'm mentioning now are just for staking DEUSD. So okay. On our site, on the DUSD page, when you connect your wallet and such, there's like a staking contract that you can just deposit into, and that's how you earn all the native yield. So that APR, like let's say like Bitcoin does go on like a tear for like months on end, like that APR would just be for just staking DUSD. Users could then take that staked DUSD and then leverage loop it, and maybe they're paying like a 10% interest rate, right, to borrow capital, but they're then using that capital to buy more DUSD and earning 40%. So they're making like a 30% ARB and looping that 10 times. In the most extreme case, they'd be making like 400 or 500% APR. That probably wouldn't be like super long lasting, and like it requires like some level of like kind of deeper like DeFi knowledge to do so. But at its most basic form on our site, without leaving our application, the yields I was just mentioning are just for staking DUSD.
Awesome. Well, cool. Well, real quick here, I want to run over and show the community a couple of the reasons that we're really excited about this project. If you take a look at their Twitter, folks, which is just at Elixir, 90,000, 96 going on 97,000 followers. As Cole mentioned, he has a massive Twitter following himself. And so this is also twofold. I wanted to show you the Twitter so that A, you can get connected with them, this looks like a great place to go and take a look at the current information and what is going on with the company. This right here talks a little bit about the BlackRock and the BYDL, protocol and some of the partnerships. And so definitely go get connected with them. But, I say this on almost every video, but in business, community is incredibly important, but in cryptocurrency projects, it's everything. And so you can see here, 96,000 followers. They've got several, 24 people that I follow that are also following them. And so, this isn't a small operation. This is a full-size, massive operation. You don't create partnerships with company like BlackRock, if you're not doing something right. And that also is part of the reason I wasn't all that worried about you being anon on the channel today, not wanting to show your faces, because obviously in order to have, procure these investors and these partnerships, you're obviously doxed and vetted with them. And that's, the most important thing. And I certainly understand, your desire for safety. I was just listening to Crypto Lifer Sam Price today, and, he talked about how not everybody would want to be him because he is out there. And, and there are people out there that are looking for people to, to exploit. And so there's, I'm like right out in the middle of the public, and I got a big target on my back. And as the channel grows, it'll probably get bigger. So I totally respect your decision to try to stay as private as you can. In my situation, it's kind of hard to do that. I just got to, trust that the good Lord is watching over me and that everything's going to work out good. But other than the Twitter, I believe you guys have an amazing Discord and a fantastic Telegram group too, right? So where would you like my community to connect with your community the most?
Yeah, both Telegram and Discord are great. Discord is quite fun because we have like weekly poker games. There's like community-run initiatives, like a Call of Duty server in there, and like a bunch of fun things that are more like just collaborative and good ways to meet other people. And like we're also like totally fine with people, talking about like their trading strategies in the markets and like unrelated things. There's channels for that. So we try to be like, just make it more of like a fun place to be, and less of just like, oh, it has to be about Elixir. On our Telegram, we also have weekly rituals where users can basically complete like certain tasks, and the best, like the top 10 or 20 of them will like earn like potion rewards. And so it's a way for users who maybe like can't like financially contribute to the network, but can socially contribute, for them to like gain some exposure to it. So we plan to like keep scaling that as more people come in as well. So those Telegram and Discord are both great places to connect.
Awesome. Well, I know the description of this video has the Telegram group. It's got your website. It's got the Twitter account or the X account. I just put the Discord link right here in the live chat. It should hyperlink you. And as soon as this video is over, I'll make sure that the Discord gets put into the description of the video too. So all of you that want to connect, with Cole and with the Elixir, team and community, you will have the ability to do so. While I'm on CoinGecko, the other thing that I wanted to mention, obviously I don't have to go over the price. Normally when I'm talking about a token, I like to show them the all-time high, the all-time low, why I think it might be a great time. Obviously we don't got to go through that. But for those of you that are wondering, hey, how in the heck do I buy this token? What do I got to do? I wanted to pull this up and show you the markets. It's actually available in a lot of places. You can get it through the Curve protocol. It's also on Uniswap, version 3 on the Ethereum network. It also looks like you can get it on PancakeSwap, Balancer. So it's all decentralized, but it's very easy to get. And, folks, we've got right here in my wallet, you can see here, well, that's not the right wallet. Let's get up to the right wallet. But we can see right here, folks, I've got $250 or $249.85 due to the fluctuation here in my wallet. And we're going to give away $50 of that, Elixir DEUSD to 5 of you, $50 worth to 5 of you lucky viewers that have been watching us today. Excited to give that away. I hope that you guys use it. Go over to the protocol and start checking things out. Maybe go over to Abracadabra, and that's something else. I don't have the link to Abracadabra handy right this second. I'll get it figured out as soon as this live stream's over. But if those of you that maybe have a little bit higher risk tolerance want to look at, using this DEUSD over on Abracadabra, we'll get that link into the description of the website also. But before we give away the money, just wanted to go back to you here real fast, Cole, and make sure that we covered everything that you really wanted to cover. If you've got anything else on your mind or anything else that you really want to make sure, my viewers and myself know about, feel free. We're in no hurry.
Yeah, no, I think we've pretty much covered all the highlights. But yeah, I hope to meet some of you on the community channels and see you guys there. And it's going to be a big week, so stay tuned on Twitter, Discord as well. We'll be posting like all the announcements there. But yeah, a lot of things are going to start changing. So excited to have everyone here and have the opportunity to chat with you and also like present to your community. So thank you for the time.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm just about ready to show everybody what they need to do to qualify for this giveaway. We do it a little bit different every stream because you know how crypto is. There's always somebody or multiple people in a lot of cases that try to game the system, that are trying to scam. I guarantee you there's somebody that's logged into 10 different YouTube accounts and typed in, hashtag DEUSD, trying to game the system. And so we switch things up a little bit here and there. I appreciate each and every one of you for typing in the DEUSD. But technically, let me run back over here to this screen and let's get this rolling here. Actually, I want to bring up this screen real quick. So we're going to go over here, and I just want to make sure that everybody knows. So this will slow down here in a second, but this is, let me refresh this. The way that we're going to give this money away, folks, is when you are drawn, you are going to come into the chat here and let us know that you are still present. So you have to be present to win. If you jumped into the stream in the first 5 minutes and typed something in and now you're gone, we're not going to go searching for you. You do have to be present to win. And the way that we make sure that we're not getting scammed here is once you, show that you're here, I'm going to click on your name like Climax up here, and it shows me the tab here to be able to go to your channel. And then once I do that, nobody can impersonate you anymore. From this point in time, the only person that I'm going to send the money to is Climax Hub, and you're going to go into your about here. It looks like you have updated it already, where it says Climax Hub is a fascinating new channel with the goal of delivering #1 trending content. So you're going to go into your about, and you're going to give me your MetaMask or Trust Wallet address, your Ethereum-based wallet address, because the DEUSD that I have is on the Ethereum network. And once you've updated your bio, then I'm going to send you $50 worth of the DEUSD. And you'd be amazed, Cole. People, if I used to try to do this and not do it live, and I would have 3 or 4 different people try to clone the accounts that were the winners. I have 3 or 4 people messaging me saying they were the winner. And so this kind of eliminates that. And then the second thing that we're going to do, which also eliminates the people that try to do it with like 10 accounts, is this is what you got to do to win. And we're only going to give you guys around 30 seconds to a minute to do it. So for those of you that are watching, that are paying attention, and that are on the channel still, go type in hashtag Elixir. And then I screwed that up. I'm sorry, Cole. It's actually with an I, ELIXIR, but for the giveaway here real quick, I apologize, Cole. It's Elixir, ELIXIR, but for the giveaway, just do the hashtag Elixir as you're seeing it here. And we're going to give you guys about 30 seconds to a minute to do that. And then I'm going to draw the winner so that we don't have people scamming the system. I apologize, Cole. This giveaway, if it wasn't for the scammers, would take 1 minute to do. But unfortunately, in order to make it fair and equitable for all of the people that are real people that are here to really get the information and aren't here just for the giveaway, we got to kind of go through these extra steps.
Yep, totally understand.
All right, so I'm going to go back here to the YouTube channel, and we can see the elixirs are piling up. We can see here that we've got 65, 69, and still going. So on my clock, I see that it's 12:50 and 57 seconds. Going to click over to 51 now. So we are going to draw the first winner here in about 15 seconds. So we're going to start drawing winners at 15 seconds after the minute, which is in 5 seconds. So let's get this rolling. So I'm going to go ahead and hit the draw button and grab a notebook while it's going so that I can make sure. Folks, you also have a limited time to present yourself as a winner. We're not going to give you all day in the chat to be able to go switch accounts and do a bunch of funny stuff on us. So XM Textile, please text us in the chat. Let us know that you are here. And Cole, I'm going to go ahead and draw the next winner. If you happen to see XM Textile in the chat, letting us know that he's here, just go ahead and let me know.
Yep,
but the second winner, you do see him?
Yeah.
Okay, beautiful. So that's official. He has won. The second winner is going to be Yuna Rizpa. Sorry if I get any of your names wrong, folks. I promise it's not my intention to do that. The third winner is, the only thing about this StreamYard is it really loves to be dramatic, Cole. The way that it, we got Beast C. So,
I see Yuna.
All right. You see Yuna? Okay, so yep. Beast C is the other, the next winner, and we're drawing number 4 now.
I see Beast as well.
Okay, beautiful. I'm glad to see that, though. On the last one, I had somebody that I had to say wasn't a winner, and about 10 seconds after I made it a cutoff and drew an alternate winner, they said something in the chat, and I felt kind of bad for them. But I also kind of felt like there was a reasonable possibility that they might have been one of the people that were trying to game the system because it took them way, way, way too long. Vanish. Okay, Vanish. So Nathali Snow and Vanish, are you guys in the chat? Let's verify you real quick. Vanish, Joy, Joseph. And hopefully you guys are in the chat, and I can go click over here real quick and do it. There he is. There's Vanish. So we'll get him and click to go to his channel. We'll come back here. We got to get to the first. There's Nathali Snow. Go to their channel. Who else am I looking for here? XM Textile, Yuna, and Beast. So maybe I'm up too far. It's been a couple of minutes, so I'm trying to see here in the chat. I'm not seeing Beast. Beast C, there we go. And then we're looking for Yuna and Rizpa, or excuse me, Yuna and XM. And you said you saw them both here. There's X. Oh, hey, XM. Awesome, man. I love it when somebody that really supports the channel, XM, commented. If you guys go back and look at the very beginning of the chat, XM commented about 45 minutes before this live stream. XM commented, "Hi, friends." So I love the fact this was at 2:51 p.m. last night, a.m. or for him it would have been like days ago that he texted. So I'm so glad to see that you're a winner. I got you pulled up there. Change your about for me. And then Yuna, we are looking for Yuna so that I can click on your profile and make sure that nobody tries to get you. I don't see Yuna. Did they just type in once?
Yeah, I definitely saw them once.
Yuna, go ahead and say something again in the chat. I can't imagine anybody would have had time. There we go. I got it. Yuna Rizpa. Thanks, Brad. beautiful to guarantee. So there I am. We got Yuna, we got XM, we got Beast, we got Nathali, and we got Banesh. So good. We've got all of our winners. Awesome. Congratulations, folks. Go get your get this updated with the Ethereum-based wallet. Not an exchange, folks. You want it to be a private wallet. You do not want to try to get this sent to you on a MEXC Global or a Binance or a KuCoin. It's not going to work. You need to have a private wallet. If you don't have one for some reason, I'm not in any hurry. I've got this pulled up. Do it right. Get yourself a good wallet address and then put it in here, Ethereum-based wallet address, and we will get that $250 sent out in just over the next hour probably. I don't have any commitments right after this is over, so I'm going to sit down and pay everybody very quickly today. So with that, let me get that off of here and then pop back to full screen for you and I. And just, want to say thank you so much for taking the time to be here with us today, Cole. I know how busy you guys are. A lot of stuff going on, especially in your space with all of the craziness that's happened in the market. And then if you're also working on getting, the Elixir token launched, I can imagine you're in the no sleep phase of life. So thank you so much for spending some time. And yeah, if you guys have, if you want to, I do raise funds through my community for private sales and stuff like that. So let's, maybe connect at some point in time, later today or in the next couple of days and talk about the, possibility if you have, any private sale left. I'd love to discuss that a little bit more with you and maybe be able to offer, an allocation to, to my community. And we got all sorts of exciting things. I'm sure you guys are going to be back on the channel again in the not too distant future.
Yeah, looking forward to discussing further, and thank you so much for having me.
You're very welcome. And thank all of you for watching us for, the last hour, man. We appreciate you. We know that your most valuable asset is your time. And so we very much appreciate you spending an hour of it with us. God bless you all. Have a fantastic rest of your day. And we will see you tomorrow at 9 a.m. for our Microcap Gem live stream. Every Wednesday, I do a Microcap Gem live stream where we dive a little bit deeper down the rabbit hole. We're firm believers here at the Infinite Crypto YouTube channel that Bitcoin, Ethereum, Matic, Polygon, I guess it is now, but some of those top 25 tokens, ADA, Solana, those are fantastic places to start. But if you really want to take a little bit of money and turn it into a lot of money, tomorrow's Microcap Gem live stream at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time is a great place to start. So with that, have a fantastic day, and we'll see you all again tomorrow in the next video. Bye-bye for now.